Do you know that a familiar morning habit, something you've done for years, could quietly increase your risk of stroke? Most people over 60 think stroke happens suddenly. No warning, no signs, like lightning out of nowhere. But in reality, strokes rarely begin in a hospital. They begin with small daily habits, especially in the morning. In the first hour after waking, the body and brain are most fragile. Mild dehydration, thicker blood, rising blood pressure, stiffer blood vessels. Under 40, the body adapts quickly. After 60, it doesn't. That's why harmless-looking habits during this window can quietly raise stroke risk, sometimes before your first cup of coffee is finished. In this video, I'll show you 7 common morning habits many older adults do every day, and the simple, no-cost changes that can protect your brain each morning. If you care about your health after 60, subscribe and turn on notifications. Now let's start with the first habit, a decades-old morning ritual many people rely on to feel alert. After 60, when done at the wrong time, this habit can burden the brain from the very start of the day. Habit number 1, drinking coffee immediately after waking up. For many people over 60, the day doesn't start without coffee. Coffee is not the problem. Timing is. Most people drink coffee immediately after waking, before water, before movement, before food. After 6 to 8 hours of sleep, the body wakes up mildly dehydrated. Blood is thicker, blood flows slower, the heart works harder to supply the brain. Now add caffeine on an empty stomach. Caffeine pulls more water from the body, raises heart rate, increases blood pressure, tightens blood vessels. In younger people, the body adapts quickly. After 60, stiff vessels cannot. This creates 3 morning risks. 1, higher stroke risk. 2, easier blood clot formation. 3, less blood to the brain when it needs it most. That's why many feel heavy head, slow thinking, clumsy hands early in the day. A man in his 80s had these symptoms every morning. His only habit, strong black coffee right after waking. When he drank water first and delayed coffee 20 to 30 minutes, the symptoms disappeared. No need to quit coffee. Just change the timing. After waking, the brain doesn't need stimulation. It needs water, circulation, stability. 1 glass of water before coffee can protect the brain. And if coffee too early already creates risk, what happens when the body wakes up and doesn't move at all? Because the next habit isn't about food or drink, it's about staying still in the first minutes of the morning. Habit number 2. Sitting still too long after waking up. Many people over 60 wake up, sit on the edge of the bed, and don't move. They wait for the body to feel ready. They wait for the mind to feel clear. They wait for dizziness to pass. It feels safe, but physiologically it isn't. During sleep, heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, blood pools in the legs. With age, leg veins lose elasticity, valves weaken, blood moves upward more slowly. So when you wake up and sit still, blood stays trapped in the legs instead of returning to the heart and brain. The brain, just waking up, needs blood immediately. But without movement, calf muscles don't contract, the natural muscle pump stays off, blood doesn't rise upward. This creates an imbalance, blood stuck in the legs, reduced blood flow to the brain. This is not morning grogginess, it's poor circulation. 3 risks follow. 1, higher morning stroke risk. 2, easier blood clot formation. 3, reduced brain blood flow when it's most vulnerable. That's why some people feel mental fog, unsteady balance, shaky or weak hands. I once met a man near 80 who sat on his bed scrolling his phone for 25 minutes every morning. When he added just 30 to 60 seconds of gentle movement, ankle rotations, toe flexing, shoulder rolls, his symptoms disappeared. No hard exercise needed. Just activate circulation. After waking, the body doesn't need more rest, it needs blood flow. A few gentle movements are enough to push blood upward, feed the brain oxygen, reduce morning risk. And if staying still is already dangerous, what happens when you do the opposite? Standing up too fast. Because the next habit happens within seconds, and it's when many morning emergencies begin. Habit number 3. Standing up too quickly and rushing to the bathroom. Many people over 60 wake up and jump out of bed, then rush straight to the bathroom. The reasons are familiar. Strong urge to urinate, fear of not making it in time, wanting quick relief. It feels natural, but physiologically this is one of the most dangerous moments of the morning. During sleep, blood pressure is lower, heart rate is slower. Circulation is calm. When you stand up, Gravity pulls blood toward the legs. The body must react fast to keep blood flowing to the brain. In younger people, this happens smoothly. After 60, it doesn't. Blood vessels are stiffer, reflexes are slower, the heart needs more time, so when you stand up too fast, blood drops to the legs for a few seconds, and the brain briefly loses blood supply. That's why many feel dizziness, blurred vision, unsteadiness. Rushing makes it worse. Standing up fast, walking quickly, and straining in the bathroom activates the Valsalva reflex, causing sharp pressure changes, sudden blood pressure swings. In older adults, these swings can overwhelm fragile brain vessels. 3 risks follow. 1. Higher risk of morning stroke. 2. Blood clots forming and moving. 3. Simultaneous stress on heart and brain. I once met a woman in her 70s who felt dizzy every morning. Her routine was simple. Jump up, rush to the bathroom, strain. When she slowed down, sat for a few seconds, stood up gently, walked calmly, her symptoms faded. No new medication, just respect the body's timing. Morning is not the time to rush. The brain and heart need seconds to adapt. Simply sit 20 to 30 seconds, stand slowly, walk gently. This reduces pressure swings and protects the brain. And if rushing within seconds is already risky, what happens when a habit lasts the entire morning and many people believe it's actually healthy? That's where the next habit begins. Habit number 4, skipping breakfast or taking medication on an empty stomach. Many people over 60 wake up, drink coffee, take medications, and skip breakfast. Some aren't hungry, some think breakfast isn't needed, some believe fasting is healthier. But after 60, skipping breakfast is not harmless. It destabilizes the brain. During the night, the brain keeps working. By morning, stored glucose is already low. With age, the body releases glucose more slowly. So when you don't eat, the brain starts the day without fuel. Low fuel triggers stress, cortisol and adrenaline rise, blood vessels tighten, blood pressure increases, heart rate speeds up. At the same time, aging vessels adapt poorly. This creates 3 risks. 1. Sudden morning blood pressure spikes. 2. Blood becomes easier to clot. 3. Unstable blood flow to the brain. Medication makes it riskier. Taking blood pressure, heart, or diabetes drugs on an empty stomach can enter the bloodstream too fast, cause sudden pressure swings, stress the brain before it's ready. A common pattern: skip breakfast, drink coffee, take meds, then feel shaky, foggy, or confused mid-morning. The fix is simple. Breakfast isn't about eating a lot, it's about stability. Just a small amount. Yogurt, 1 boiled egg, or a few nuts is enough to protect the brain. And if lack of fuel already creates risk, what happens when the brain wakes up stressed and is immediately flooded with negative information? Because the next habit isn't about food or medicine, it's about stress in the first minutes of the morning. Habit number 5, starting the day with stress. Many people over 60 start the morning by opening the phone, turning on the TV, checking news and emails. It feels like staying informed. But for an aging brain, this is early stress. Right after waking, cortisol naturally rises. This hormone helps you wake up. But after 60, morning cortisol peaks higher, stays elevated longer. Blood vessels adapt more slowly. The brain is already pre-stressed. When you add emotional stress, negative news, arguments, money worries, non-stop notifications, the brain reacts as if under threat. Very quickly, blood pressure spikes, blood vessels tighten, heart rate rises, blood flow to the brain becomes unstable. This creates 3 risks. 1. Sudden blood pressure shock, higher stroke risk. 2. Blood clots form more easily, stress plus thick morning blood. 3. Reduced blood flow to parts of the brain, dizziness, poor focus. A common pattern: watch the news, feel tense, head feels heavy or foggy. One simple change makes a big difference. Morning is not for stress, it's for stabilization. Just 10 to 15 minutes before news or emails, breathe slowly, walk gently, sit quietly. This helps lower the morning pressure spike, relax brain blood vessels, protect the brain when it's most fragile. And if stress alone can disturb blood pressure this fast, what happens when blood pressure rises silently, without any symptoms at all? That brings us to the next habit, one of the strongest predictors of stroke after 60. Habit number 6, not checking morning blood pressure. Many people over 60 say, "I only check my blood pressure when I feel unwell." That sounds reasonable, but medically, it's dangerous, because the most dangerous blood pressure spike often happens when you feel nothing at all. And that time is the morning. Rising blood pressure. What happens to blood pressure after waking? Before you open your eyes, the body prepares to wake up. Stress hormones rise, cortisol, adrenaline. This causes faster heart rate, stronger heart pumping, rising blood pressure. This is called the morning blood pressure surge. After 60, blood vessels are stiffer, plaque is more common, regulation is weaker, so the morning surge becomes riskier. It's scoring. Why not checking in the morning is a big problem. Morning blood pressure rises fast, fluctuates strongly, happens before medication works. If you only measure at noon or night, the numbers may look normal. Meanwhile, your brain may already have been under high pressure without you knowing. That's why many strokes happen between 6 a.m. and 11 a.m., with little or no warning. 3 silent dangers. Skipping morning checks allows 1. Sudden vessel rupture from pressure spikes. 2. Blood clots forming and moving more easily. 3. Silent brain damage over time. Memory, balance, mood problems. A very common real case. An 80-year-old man believed his blood pressure was fine. He only checked at night, around 130/75. When he checked in the morning for 1 week, some readings reached 180/95. He had ignored signs like brief blurred vision, mild confusion, poor focus. After adjusting medication timing and checking blood pressure every morning, those symptoms disappeared. A tiny habit that protects the brain. If you're over 60, remember this: you can't manage what you don't measure. Just check blood pressure 30 to 60 minutes after waking, before breakfast, before medication, as advised. It takes less than 1 minute, but helps you catch risk early, adjust morning habits, protect the brain from silent damage. And if blood pressure can rise dangerously without symptoms, what happens when circulation stays slow and stagnant through the entire first hour of the day? That leads us to the final habit: quiet, comfortable, but dangerous over time. Strongest predictors of stroke after 60. Habit number 7. Sitting still too long in the first morning hour. Many people over 60 start the day like this: wake up, sit still, read, drink tea, watch TV. They wait until the body feels ready to move. It feels calm, it feels safe, but physiologically this habit quietly raises stroke risk. What the body is like in the morning. After waking up, blood is thicker from nighttime dehydration. Muscles are stiff and slow, veins are weaker, blood pressure is rising. At this moment, the body does not need more rest. It needs gentle movement. Why sitting still is harmful. The calves act as a natural muscle pump. Every small movement helps blood, from the legs back to the heart, up to the brain. But if you sit still for 30 to 60 minutes, the muscle pump stays off, blood from the legs, the brain gets less blood. This is not relaxing. This is poor circulation. Circuit grow. 3 long-term risks. Repeated every morning, this leads to 1. Higher stroke risk from rising blood pressure. 2. Blood clots forming in the legs. 3. Chronic low brain blood flow, causing slow thinking, poor focus, morning brain fog. This is not just aging, it's circulation that never wakes up. A very common example. A man in his early 70s sat reading for nearly an hour every morning. He thought it helped him relax. Later he noticed brief blurred vision, tingling fingers, mild confusion. When he changed one thing, 2 to 3 minutes of gentle walking and stretching after waking, the symptoms disappeared. No hard exercise, just movement at the right time. A simple rule that protects the brain. If you're over 60, remember this: the body doesn't need intensity, it needs motion. In the first 2 to 5 minutes, stand up and take a few steps, rotate ankles and knees, stretch and rotate arms. This helps wake up circulation, reduce blood pooling, protect the brain when it's most vulnerable. And when you look at all 7 habits together, one truth becomes clear. None of them is dangerous alone. But repeated every morning at the brain's weakest time, they quietly build risk over years. So, what do all these habits have in common? And what is the simplest way to protect your brain from the moment you open your eyes each day? Why the first hour of the morning matters after 60. When we look back at the 7 morning habits, one thing becomes clear. None of them is dangerous once. The problem is repetition. After age 60, the body no longer tolerates small mistakes repeated every day. And the first hour after waking is when the brain is most vulnerable. Blood is thicker, blood vessels are stiffer, blood pressure fluctuates easily. The brain needs protection the most. If during this hour you stimulate too early, stress too fast, skip fuel, or let circulation stay sluggish, the brain starts the day at a disadvantage. The real common thread behind all 7 habits. These habits look different, but they all affect one core factor: morning blood flow to the brain. Some habits thicken the blood, some spike blood pressure, some trap blood in the legs. Some starve the brain of fuel, some overload the brain with stress. When these happen together or back to back, stroke doesn't come suddenly. It is quietly built, morning after morning. Small changes that protect the brain. The good news, you don't need extreme changes. Just remember these simple rules. Drink water before stimulation, move gently before standing, move slowly in the first minutes, eat a small breakfast, avoid stress right after waking, check morning blood pressure, don't sit still too long in the first hour. Small actions, but big protection for a brain after 60. One final thought. After years of working with older adults, one truth stands out. The difference between a life limited by stroke and a life lived clearly and independently often does not begin with medicine or hospitals. It begins with quiet morning choices. How you wake up, how you let your body adapt, how you treat your brain in the very first minutes of the day. Before you go, ask yourself, which one habit can I change starting tomorrow morning? Share one thing you learned in the comments. If this helped you, leave a 1. If not, leave a 0 so I can improve. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content to help you live safely, clearly, and proactively after 60. Thank you for watching. I wish you calm mornings, clear thinking, and a brain that is protected every single day.